transfer an investment portfolio to a trustee with directions for the next 10 full calendar years to distribute $50,000 per year to a named charity. And then any excess annual income will be distributed to 2 private trusts that were in existence before this one was created. So $50,000 each year for 10 years to the charity. Any excess income then will be divided equally among the trusts that I've created. It could be a special needs trust. It could just be typical trusts that I've created for survivors. At the end of 10 years, anything that's left in that new trust is then going to be distributed to that donor's living grandchildren in equal shares. Again, does that sound like anything that's qualified for tax purposes? No, there's no charitable deduction here. But again, if you can do it under state law and you're willing to deal with the tax realities, why would we not say to somebody, great, from a charitable perspective, if you're working for the charitable organization, remember, any gift is better than no gift, right? Isn't that true? So again, it's like, well, we're not kind of used to this, but it's still a gift. Now, if this is in a revocable trust, which it likely will be, so what's the risk? It's in a revocable trust. Absolutely, they change their mind. But the vast majority of estate gifts come to charity through revocable arrangements, right? They're bequest provisions, they're beneficiary designations off of retirement plans, they're beneficiary designations in life insurance policies. So this is no different, in my opinion. Most of it's revocable anyway. We're used to dealing with that kind of challenge. I think we'd have a lot more of these arrangements put in place if we weren't so hung up about irrevocable versus revocable. Now here's an interesting one that has to do with partial interests, where you own property and mineral interests. One of the basic rules that every planner who works within mineral interests has been taught and will say to clients or donors, if you own the surface and you own the minerals, you can't just give the minerals to charity. And the reason we say you can't do that is because it doesn't qualify for tax deductions because you haven't given a share of everything you own. So if you own the surface and the minerals, if you want tax benefit for it, you have to either give us all of both or give us an undivided portion of both. So 10%, 50%, whatever. Again, that's if you want tax deduction. So we've got to get ourselves trained. Instead of saying, no, you can't do that, we've got to say, now, if you want tax deductions or tax benefits, here's what our options are. If those aren't important, here's what your options are, like my guy out in California. So here we have a donor who wants to leave the surviving partner the ownership of the surface rights to the ranch in Texas. And by the way, ranches in Texas are thousands and thousands of acres because when you don't grow anything, the cattle can't eat anything. So you've got to have lots and lots of acreage just to keep anything alive out there. She wants the surviving partner to also receive 1/2 of the royalty payments from the leases that are on the property. So there's a company out doing production. And the partner then would have that for the rest of the partner's lifetime. The other half of the royalty payments are going to go to the named charity, hopefully the University of Texas. At the partner's death, then she wants the university, she wants the charity to own all the mineral interests, but the surface could go somewhere else. Again, this is the scenario we get all the time. Can't do it if you want tax deduction, but sure could do it otherwise. Somebody wants to create